out real life.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so my name is Drafe, and this is going to be my first unboxing video. It's my passion of drones has taken over, and despite my love for my wife, I have still purchased one, even though I told her I wouldn't. This is the Drocon Bugs 3. It is the cheapest brushless motor drone that I could find on Amazon, and I'm really excited to open this motherfucker up. So, first thing, just pointing out, as I said, it's got brushless motor, independent ESC. I bet you just need those for brushless motors. Two-way 2.4 gigahertz communication. That just pretty much means that the controller will tell you if it's got a low battery or if it's got a crappy signal. On the side of the package right here, you'll be able to see it comes with the drone, comes with the remote control, comes with some propeller guards, set of propellers, an extra set of propellers, landing gear, got a camera mount for a GoPro. I actually have my Lightdow here. I'm going to see if it'll actually fit in there. A regular charger, a single battery, a screwdriver for taking everything off, and a propeller changer tool. On the back, we got a list of things that you can get alongside it. It has a sport camera that you can buy, which you can use a GoPro or any of the other listed ones. I'll put them in the description of the video. You can actually buy a 360 panoramic camera for it, which is pretty nifty if you want to mess around with that. The actual main reason I purchased this, though, is it actually has the ability to be easily upgraded to a 5.8 gigahertz FPV setup with either a regular monitor or a headset, and they actually have the list on the side of the box, which is really nifty. You can go look that up. You can actually compare things that way and see if you want to just go your own route with the analog camera, but they got one on here. So with all that said, let's just get this thing started. Alright, cool. Comes with stickers and stuff. Because, yeah, I need those, but that's fine. If I'm impressed, I'll put it on my computer or something. Instruction manual, we'll get to that later. Alright, first we got the little action camera mount with some padding so you can make sure that it's not going to have any rattling going on while you're recording or flying. The charger for the battery. Here's the drone itself. Big, beautiful baby. Seems pretty light and pretty sturdy at the same time. The propellers are nice and sturdy. Got two sets. It's gonna come in useful. Got the prop guards here. I actually read recommendations online to not put the prop guards on because if you actually hit a wall really hard, the prop guards will bend and hit the propellers and actually cause damage to the propellers, more damage than would just hitting something. So that was just something I read online. And here's the landing gear. Oh, and here's our sweet little MJX RC battery. Alright, grab my Lightdow. See if it will fit. It's the Lightdow HD 1080p. It's the cheap Lightdow you can get. The one that's recording me is actually Chad Hass's slightly more expensive fancy one. Oh, it slides in okay. Wouldn't you know it? Just like a charm. So yes, Lightdow is confirmed. And yeah, so I'm going to put this thing together and I'm going to take it for a test flight. Alright, so I got this baby assembled. It's actually really easy to assemble. The blades are really light because it is a brushless blade type. And well, if anyone's flown a brushless blade versus a brush motor blade, they sound completely different. They're a little bit quieter. You pretty much only hear the wind getting pushed around the blades. The controller, very simple, very simplistic, very just, straightforward. This is your throttle. This is turning left and right. This is actually movement in X, Y. How to power it on. We got your basic trim stuff. Some of these are actual trim, some of these are not. But the ones that are most important is how to turn it on. When you're trying to pair it, you hold this red button on the top left and then turn it on while the drone is already plugged into the battery. It will actually indicate with a beep. The top left is actually how you toggle on high speed and low speed, which if you're having any trouble fighting the wind,
say like 15-20 mile an hour wind, you can probably put on high speed and get away with a little bit of flight, but I highly recommend not maybe flying in that crazy a wind. It's a little windy outside right now, but I really just want to fly it, so I don't care. And on the right side, the far right here, because there's two on here, this is the far right one. If you had a camera actually wired into it, which is an option that they have available in the owner's manual, you can just wire that up and you can take aerial photography with that, or you can just use the actual, you know, GoPro or whatever you'd be using in there. The one right next to it, the inner right button, is actually for action flips. That's the only easy mode button they have for doing anything. They don't have headless mode on here. They don't have GPS. They don't have return to home, anything like that. But they do have our good old friend action flip. So you can press that button and then choose a direction to flip after pushing it, and it'll flip in that direction and then recover. But enough talking about it. Let's get this thing in the air. All right, so we're out in the park and we're gonna actually get this thing a test run. So this is how we get going. First off, make sure it's in a safe position and plug in the battery. Real straightforward. Plug it in the back. You can only get plugged in one way. You hear the beeps go on. That's your first step. Second step, hold the red button on the controller and power it on. That means should be good to go. Also, the first thing you're supposed to do is calibrate, which, just like a Cyma brand, take both joysticks to the bottom right and your drone should blink, which it did. You can't really see because it's super bright out here. And then you have to unlock it by tapping the red button. And then you're good to go. All right, so this is the first flight. As you can see, it takes off really smooth. I do want to comment early on that I did 3 flights with 3 batteries, and even though it says it's got a 15 to 18 minute flight time, I experienced an 8 to 9 minute flight time due to the fact that I had to use high power mode because of the high winds that were in the area. You can hear on the last video right before this one, it's kind of strong winds that are hitting the phone. I think it was about 10 to 15 mile an hour winds. It was actually able to handle itself on low power mode okay, but I actually wanted to get moving around and see what it could do. So as you can see right here, I'm actually doing the front flips and back flips, just seeing what it's capable of doing. A little zoom in on myself here, trying to figure out if I can just yell at myself or whatnot. A little bit of slow movement, even with high power on. It seems to be really smooth. Zooming in here on my wife here. Towards the end of the video, there is a little crash incident that you can see, and it recovers very quickly. I just had to go grab it after locking the propellers again, put it back down on the ground, unlock, and take off. It had a very, very minor scuff on one of the propellers. I think actually would have done more damage if I had the propeller guards on. I saw some pretty decent videos early on before I purchased the drone, showing pretty much that the damage from a collision with a wall or ground is not going to even barely phase the propellers, but the prop guards are made of the same plastic. They are very thin blades, and they will hurt you if you get your fingers caught in them. But it seems that even though they're spinning at really, really high speeds, when they hit things, they just pretty much get scuffed unless you hit, I'm assuming unless you hit something really, really sharp and it actually scuffs the blade, or you continuously hit the blade and damage it. It does come with 1 extra set of propellers, which is good. Overall, I would like to rate this thing, honestly, I would say 5 out of 5 if it weren't for the fact that it doesn't have like fancy features like GPS and maybe like coming with FPV. But the point of purchasing this drone is the fact that it can be upgraded to an FPV drone with a headset. It could be updated to with a panoramic camera. There's just tons of fun stuff that you can do with this thing. Replacing motors or whatever, replacing any props, everything seems to be really easy, and it seems to be really sturdy in general. So I'm gonna say 4.5 out of 5. It's really strong. And here comes the crash incident. I'm just trying to whip around these trees. I lost the line of sight and I hit a bench. Boom. But it recovers quickly. As I come over there, I lock the blades, I grab it, check it, and it's beautiful. So, yeah. And it's still going. So yeah, thanks for watching my video. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you'd like to see some more drone stuff in the future, please subscribe.